For years, this land was written off as dead. No rivers, no future. Winds carried sand instead of rain. And every year, the desert moved closer to human settlements. This wasn't happening in ancient times. This was happening in the modern world, in northern China. Entire provinces were fighting a losing battle against desertification. The soil couldn't hold water, plants couldn't survive, and traditional farming was impossible. Then technology entered the desert, not in the form of machines at first, but data. Scientists began using satellite imagery to track how sand dunes moved, how wind patterns shifted, and where moisture still existed underground. For the first time, the desert was mapped down to the smallest detail. Algorithms analyzed decades of climate data to identify zones where restoration was actually possible. Instead of planting trees everywhere, engineers planted only where survival was likely. Next came sand-fixing engineering. Straw checkerboard systems were laid across dunes in massive grids, each square designed to slow and at ground level. This wasn't guesswork. Wind tunnels and simulations were used to calculate the exact spacing needed to reduce erosion. Once the sand stopped moving, the next problem appeared: water. Deserts don't lack rain alone. They lose water too fast. So, engineers introduced drip irrigation systems powered by solar energy. Every drop was measured. No floating, no waste. Sensors buried underground monitored soil moisture in real time, sending data back to control centers hundreds of kilometers away. If the soil dry, water flow with. If it didn't, Then came materials science. Researchers developed polymer-based soil stabilizers, eco-safe compounds that helped sand particles bind together, allowing roots to anchor. These materials broke down naturally over time, leaving behind structured soil. Instead of loose sand, solar power changed everything. Massive solar farms were built across desert land, not only to generate electricity, but to alter panels, reduced surface temperatures. They blocked extreme wind. They slowed evaporation. Underneath them, vegetation survived where nothing could before. Artificial intelligence took over management. AI models predicted sandstorms days in advance. They optimized irrigation schedules. They adjusted planting strategies year by year. Human labor didn't disappear. It became smarter. Local communities were trained to operate, repair, and expand these systems. Desert land became jobs. Jobs became stability. Over time, satellites showed the chain. Green patches expanded. Sand movement slowed. Carbon absorption increased. According to verified environmental assessments, millions of hectares of land, once classified as non-recoverable, were downgraded to recovering ecosystems. This wasn't a single invention. It was a system. Data, engineering, energy, human planning. The desert didn't vanish, but it stopped winning. Today, these regions don't just fight sand, They produce power. They support agriculture. They protect cities from storms. This is what happens when technology isn't used to dominate nature, but to understand it. No miracle. No circle. Just precision, patience, and systems built to last.